For today's cup of coffee with Scream, there's been a lot of screaming and not enough coffee.
There's not enough coffee to go around this time.
There's not enough coffee in the world, I don't think.
No, not this time.
Oh, God. And it's like, it kept feeling like Friday all day.
I thought it was legit.
And it's like, no. And all this stuff is supposed to... people making plans to break bad on the 14th and all this weekend and stuff. And it's like, there's so many people that have a fatigue on every conceivable level. They're just done. They're done with the nonsense. They're tired of the political drama, the kabuki theater, all these people. They're tired of the TikTokers and all these social media people that are on the payroll of somebody to continue to do some of this stuff and agitate, and people are done.
Mm-hmm. They're big done.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is exhausting.
It is exhausting.
I mean, you can only deal with this amount of stress and this amount of bullshit and idiocracy.
Mm-hmm.
Idiocy. I was blending two words at once.
It's
there.
okay. Other people do it. That's how words begin.
Yeah. You can only deal with that so much before you just break.
Yeah.
And then you
yeah.
You're overwhelmed and it starts to overflow.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, stop it.
And to a degree, it was like that we watched the video for, oh goodness, what was that song that by Massive Attack? That
Angel?
Yeah. And if you've never seen the video on that, it's most interesting because this man is walking and all of a sudden somebody starts following him.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's others and they start, and he starts running and they're running after him. And at the end of it, he stops and he faces them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then he starts walking towards them.
Uh-huh.
And then he
and
runs.
Then they
at
run.
them.
Mm-hmm. And it's like kid said that some people thought that was an example of anxiety.
Mm-hmm. Grok gave me a good analysis on the
mm-hmm.
music video, and he was talking about there was multiple meanings to it. Let me look it up real fast.
Okay. Well, it's like what is happening is bullying behavior, and to not allow law enforcement or military or whoever to expect them to stand there and take abuse, be it verbal, be it physical, whatever like that. These are human beings.
Mm-hmm. Very much.
And at a certain point, I know somebody, God, it was hilarious that this one idiot was there and he was reporting and got hit in the head with a rubber bullet. Good.
Yeah.
And he had a big goose egg. Good.
Fuck, I'm hit.
Yeah.
I'm
and it's
shot.
like, if you are going into some place like that, expect to get some kind of damage.
Literally, you're going to get hit at some point if you're in the midst of all that shit. So it's not, you cannot act surprised when that happens.
Right. Best way to avoid a punch, don't be there.
Yeah.
If you are in an area where things like that are occurring and it occurs to you, don't act surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Don't expect sympathy, empathy, nothing. That's a total fuck around, find out thing.
Yeah, you lost all your whining and crying privileges there.
Yeah. With the training I've had, I don't fucking want to hear it.
You're worn out. You're burnt out of it.
Because, like I said, I know the training that I had to have a job, which included getting pepper sprayed. Okay, that's not pleasant.
Mm-hmm. So, with the Massive Attack music video, one of the things is fear and pursuit.
Yeah.
Represent reversal of power.
Mm-hmm.
That's another one. Alienation and isolation.
Mm-hmm. I can see that.
Yeah. It's got to sit, and then that's pretty much what it gave me.
But it's like, what happens eventually? You cannot rationalize with some people. Some people are not capable of rational thought. Period.
They can't, because it's a when you get people that lack rational thought, those are usually the people that are sucked into a hive mind.
It's called insanity.
And thus what others think, they think what they are told.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And so, I just heard somebody else talking about this the other day on videos that I watched. Like, these people don't do their actual research.
Right.
They genuinely don't.
Right.
They think that
they're
do.
brainwashed.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are paid. There were a couple of them that I saw that came out, and that they're, as far as them offering, one was $150 a day and the other was $200 a day, and that they had even given them instructions on where to find items, bricks to throw at people. One of them has Molotov cocktails, and both of them, they're like, this is not worth this.
No.
It is not worth the price. You may get paid $200 or $150. It's all ends up being 30 pieces of silver. You're selling your soul.
Yeah. You're selling your integrity.
Uh-huh.
You're selling who you are as a person. You're selling your morals out.
Right. Yeah. So the fact that you had two of these people come out and talk about this, that can be a catalyst for others to come out and go, this ain't right. This is not organic. These are people that are enemies that are trying to tear our nation apart.
Mm-hmm. These are people who are trying to tear our nation apart, and they've been trying to do that from the get-go.
Absolutely.
And they've been trying to hide in the shadows for all these years, and they cannot hide any longer.
And part of it is within. The enemy is within. When you've got some of these alphabet agencies, yeah.
I was going to say within themselves, like, yeah.
Well, that too, but... And something most interesting occurred yesterday from dailymail.com. And this was on, well, it actually was written today, but it happened yesterday, June 12th of 2025. And this is by Stacy, Liberatore. It says a U.S. Army official may have accidentally dropped what some are calling the greatest Freudian slip ever. Now, do I believe it? Everybody be highly discerning about anything and everything.
Yeah.
It says the U.S. Army Secretary Dan Driscoll was enthusiastically promoting the Army's upcoming 250th anniversary parade set to take place in Washington, D.C. this Saturday, when he said America has a soldier stationed on the moon. Yeah, mic drop there. Driscoll highlighted the Army's wide range of missions, from responding to natural disasters to what the internet is calling the start of lunar militarization. Like, I can't have talk as it is tonight, so
lunar militarization.
See, it's a tongue twister. It really is.
Militarization.
And he had said, quote, the country gets to see all of the amazing things that the Army has done, whether it's helping with floods in North Carolina or wildfires in California. And we talked to an astronaut yesterday who's on the moon, who's a soldier, end quote. Driscoll's comment appears to have confused the moon with NASA's International Space Station, as he spoke to Army Colonel Ann McLean, a NASA astronaut currently stationed aboard the ISS this week.
There was no confusion there.
It says, however, the remark made during a live Fox News interview was brief with no follow-up details, but it did not take long for social media to ignite with speculation.
You know how I get so excited that I can't really keep a secret?
Uh-huh.
I bet that's what happened with him in a way.
Maybe.
Or he was just like, yeah, no, I'm just going to slip this in here. I'm going to tell it either way.
One user on X
Say it's a Freudian slip.
Had said, quote, "Did he just slip up? Is it more Pentagon disinformation? This is quite the statement to make." And others speculated whether the U.S. military is quietly expanding its presence in space amid growing competition with Russia and China for supremacy. That's true. I mean, we've covered stories in the past as far as that China wanted to go up there and claim the moon. Who claims a planet?
Literally, that is some hubris and ego to think that you can claim a planet.
And it says, while the Army official has not commented on his statement, neither NASA or the military have released information stating there is a human on the moon. Driscoll is the 26th Secretary of the Army, sworn in on February 25th, following his nomination by President Donald Trump and confirmation by the Senate. His role is to oversee operations, modernization, and resource allocation for nearly 1 million active Guard and Reserve soldiers and more than 265,000 Army civilians. And it says Daily Mail reached out to Driscoll for comment. And apparently that was it. He has not responded. Now, can people misspeak? Yes. Just because they're in, and there's more to the article, I'll include the link in the description box so you can go ahead and read the rest of it. There was nothing else of significance that I saw.
Uh-huh.
Just because somebody is in a position of power does not mean they're intelligent. And that was just like that one, I don't know, elected official that was talking about whatever island nation that it was, that if all of them went to one side, it would tip over.
What? Who the fuck said that?
Really need to have competency tests for people who are elected to office.
Yeah.
They need IQ tests. They need regular drug screening. I'm not joking. I mean, these people are supposed to be... John Fetterman said, we are not sending our best and brightest. And God bless him, he spoke truth on that.
He really did. Yeah. What? We send in the dumb ones.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's where it ends up being theater, political theater.
I mean, yeah, at the end of the day, that's exactly what all this is.
And it's one of those that, do I believe either side? No, I don't. Because just because you agree with somebody does not mean that they're telling the truth. That means that they are saying things that they know that you will agree with.
Right.
So be an independent thinker. Research for yourself. So could dude have misspoken? Yeah, sure.
But the likelihood of that is slim.
Well, there's been a lot of video over the years of some strange things on the dark side of the moon. And the moon itself is very peculiar.
Nobody is allowed to even... Listen, people who astral project, all that stuff, they have been fully just yeeted off the moon.
Absolutely. By something that they knew that they were astral projection. They were able to detect them. And Yep.
So there is something very, very sus going on there.
AJ on the Y-Files, he said that was one of the main things that made him a believer was when he started researching about the moon. And that it is very peculiar.
Very, very suspicious. And how come... and they never... there has to be another side to the moon.
Well, sure there is.
I know that, but there is something on that opposite side that they are refusing to show us, be it a base of some sort, some other species of alien, something else going on over there.
Yeah, it's something. It is something.
Considering we get a picture
Just one
of
side.
Yeah, a picture of one side.
Mm-hmm. That is always the side that is shown.
Mm-hmm.
That it does not orbit the way that other things orbit. It is perpetually
What if it is
Earth facing.
What if it is like one of these contraptions, like a big ass contraption to somehow
that's what David Icke
manipulate.
has said. That's what David Icke has been saying for years. That is there to control humans. Yeah. I'm not saying that Icke is right about everything, but I'm not saying that he's wrong about everything. As out there as it used to sound, now it's not as out there.
Okay, but why would it be there to control humans? In what way?
Well, that's where you get into as far as like the Anunnaki and different things like that. That's a totally different rabbit hole. But to say that, yes, we went to the moon and we just decided not to go back. And then they have honestly said, when people have asked, why don't we go back? And they're like, oh, we lost the technology.
And it's like, bullshit. Y'all did not lose that technology.
Right.
Y'all have advanced upon that technology.
Oh, there's stuff, and that's that's where you get into Ashton Forbes territory. He's feisty. Reading his ex posts and stuff, he's feisty. Yeah. It's a hoot.
I have not been on X today.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So, and I didn't even know he had an X account.
He does. Your brother was the one that told me about him. He's like, hey, check out this dude. Yeah.
Oof.
And so to listen to the live streams and different things like that, but he's not afraid of a fight. He's a little skinny dude, but that don't mean anything. He apparently he can hold his own.
Yeah. Chihuahuas. They can very much hold their own.
Maybe. So, did Army Dude drop the ball? It's just like all these people that's come out of the woodwork over the past several years. Oh, yes, we've done this. Yes, I was former intelligence. But I'm going to tell you the truth. Bullshit. I don't believe none of them. If you associated with the government or whatever, I don't care if it's like you local dog catcher. I'm going to look at you sideways and go,
Yep. Yep. Loves it.
But it would not surprise me if with everything in the mix, aliens. We've been waiting on aliens.
I've been waiting on them to land in our yard for a minute now, okay? That dream was way too real to not be a vision of sorts.
It would not surprise me if these interdimensional or whatever, they uncloak themselves and go, all right, y'all, you're getting ridiculous. You're about to hurt yourself and everybody else. Stop it.
That's literally, yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And people, there's people that have been saying that for a minute. Some people are like, the aliens are probably looking at us like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all?
Yeah. Yeah, and that was one of the things as far as the Watchers and the Book of Enoch, that it never said that God did not want humans to have some of this knowledge. He did not want them to have the knowledge then that the Watchers, the fallen ones, that they gave to people. Because if you do not have the brain capacity and the moral capacity to use tools properly, things get hurt.
Yeah.
Things die.
Yeah.
What a time.
See, that makes me think God wanted us to develop a little bit before he wanted us to have those tools.
Yes.
We needed to cook.
Age appropriate.
We literally just needed to cook for a bit.
Well, it's just like we were caretakers. That was what it was.
Yeah.
Take care of what God had created. You're gardeners. Take care of the animals. Do different things. It's like, that's all you had to do. That was all you had to do. And to enjoy what he had made.
Mm-hmm.
There was purpose. Yeah. Can we just get back to that? That would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Anyhow, everybody's having paranormal and supernatural. Head on a swivel. If you need to go out, please do it today. God love you. If you're in an urban area, please be aware of what's going on. Never assume that somebody, because planetary alignments, not just about this organized chaos stuff. Planetary alignments is going to be messing with people's minds. Yours, others. Just be aware.
Yeah. It's already been messing with mine, I know that. Mm-hmm. It's been messing with other people's minds that we know.
Mine's my spine. It's the sun and my spine.
My neck.
That's connected to your spine.
It is part of my spine. It goes up into my skull.
Yes.
And I'm like,
yes. So, do you want to tell the people where we can be found?
Sure, but do you know how weird it is whenever you swallow, and it feels like half your head, like going from this part all the way through to the base of your skull, feels like it's sort of like ding, being like bumped up a little bit, you know?
No, I honestly can say that I have never experienced that.
It's not a fun experience. It feels fucked up.
Okay.
Because it involves the sinuses and all that,
right.
And
okay.
It goes along with the spine and shit too, and it's what I'm experiencing is fucking it's weird.
Okay, they'll have hopefully your strip results back tomorrow as far as the culture.
It feels like the top of my head's about to come off at certain points. That's what it feels like.
Oh God, it's gonna be another weekend in the ER, isn't it? Pray for us, please. Tell the people where we can be found.
It's not going to be another trip to the ER. I'm going to be fine. It's going to be all right. Shit. It's just sinus issues. Find us on BitChute, Rumble, and YouTube at Rolanda's Cup of Coffee with Scream. Also check her out on X, previously known as Twitter, at Rolanda COCWS. Thank you all for joining us. Have a good.
Know that you are loved. Let us pray one for another and for everybody.
Yep.
Yeah.
We all
treat
need
other
prayers.
people the way that you would like to be treated.
Mm-hmm.
And Lord willing, we'll see you on the next cup.
Yep.
Bye.